So we had a little bit of a situation at FSU. Conrad Hussey, I believe their DB was released from the team. At the time, we didn't know about it. This is a big depth piece for them. Guy that played a lot of games last year, played in 10 games, started in 4, going into his third year, expected to be, I would say, a solidified secondary guy. If we're thinking about from a floater's perspective, he's your Kermani McLean-esque, right? We've got Dejan and Devin Moore as our 1-2. Your third and fourth DBs are important. Those guys are rotating on and off the field. Again, a guy that's coming in with a ton of snaps as well was released due to an altercation, a fist fight, if you will, with one of the players. And man, look, the reason I bring this up is because we love to troll FSU. It's fun, but there obviously was a major cultural issue last year. You don't go from 13-1 to 2-10 without there just not being some, can't think of the word right now, but things being cohesive amongst the group. And now this year, as we know, and they go back into the portal, change a lot of coaches, especially on the defensive side of things, bring in a new offensive coordinator. It's a complete facelift for the Florida State Seminoles. If you look at their depth chart and take a look at it from their starters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 on both sides of the ball are new transfers for this year. The other guys are still transfers, but they were at least there last year. So 13 out of their 22 starters are all transfers, which is crazy. That's a complete revamp of a football team. We've seen the Thomas Castellano drama. I think FSU fans are just holding on for dear life that it works out for them. Again, I don't think it's a lose-lose. I don't mind it if you can back it up. It'll be one of the biggest things we do talk about because he walked the walk. But if it doesn't work out, you can see it burning down pretty quickly. What are your thoughts on these boys getting after it?
Well, here's the first thing. Great teams are not led by great coaches. Great teams are led by great players and stepping up to be leaders. And when you have that many transfers, I don't know if you can get a conglomerate of great leaders when you have such a turnstile of roster. There's nobody been there since day one.
Who do you lean on? Who do you look to? That's been in this predicament that you can feel comfortable
they have
with.
That 5-star. They got that 5-star DB, Lester. I can't remember his name. He's still there, but it's like you're not recruiting well in high school. You're depending on the transfer portal, and then you can't even keep
Charles
the kids
Lester.
That you
Charles Lester's third right now. Redshirt freshman, that 5-star, third on the depth chart at the moment.
So he's not a leader. I mean, where are you getting your leadership from? If you have to get your leadership from the coaches, you're gonna be you're gonna lose a lot of games because when it going gets tough, coach can't run out on the field to make the play for you. He can't adjust you. The coaching is done on game day. There's no more coaching to be had. Yeah, you can make little adjustments, but the coaching happens during the week. You got to go out there and perform. And if it's gonna, what's gonna happen? The first time that they get scored on quite a bit, down 14-21, just watch and look for players starting to point the finger at each other. As soon as that happens, the season is over.
Another big one here that we don't talk about a lot is Deuce Robinson. They had Deuce Robinson score right. Deuce Robinson was a 5-star tight end. They've got him listed as a wide receiver, and I get it. He's 6'6", 222 pounds. A little heavy.
We saw that before, though.
Yeah, but so he was a tight end at USC. Had 5 catches last year for 396 yards. I don't know how much wide receiver he played. He probably played a little bit of both, but you wonder how much of that played a factor because, again, was recruited as a tight end. He was the number 1 tight end. I remember his commitment. It was a pretty big deal. He did a pretty good job with it when he ultimately went to USC. And again, you're taking in a guy that was recruited as a tight end and probably wants to play wide receiver. You hear this a lot. These tight ends want to transfer into that wide receiver role because it's flashy, but they're not as fast. They're a little bit slower. They don't have just that wide receiver natural ability. Are you giving a guy that was once a 5-star, component, hey, we're going to put you here just so you can get him because you're trying to fill in a gap, and it could be another position that burns you. Again, I don't know. I don't know enough about, 5 catches at USC last year doesn't give me a full plate of what he did.
It's Johnny Wilson 2.0. We've seen this before. It's just history repeating itself. I mean, it's the exact same thing. What happened was, I'm going to tell you what happened. They're so bad on wide receiver. They're like, whatever, I don't care. Come here, come on, come all, please, if you can catch the ball.
Look, I think there's some excitement there for them to play Alabama, but after what I just kind of said about Alabama, I thought that it could maybe surprisingly keep it close. I don't feel that way anymore.
When let's see, we're gonna watch it, right? That's gonna be a good game to watch. When Bama rolls 21 up on them in the second quarter, and they start pointing the fingers and shoving each other on the sideline, we will know if this is another 2-10 Florida State team right from the get-go.
We'll see, yeah, especially quarterback play. I think it's going to be interesting to see that because
game 1, you're not going to have the culture game 10.
Yeah, you got a glimpse of it at Georgia Tech. You kind of saw pretty quickly that it was all a facade, right? When things got tough against that Georgia Tech, they couldn't figure it out, and that ended up being the basis of that team for the remainder of the year. So we'll see. Justin Welch just became a member. Shout out to Justin Welch, man. Appreciate you. Just hit over 200 people live. Awesome. Look, man, this always pumps us up. We ramp up these new shows. New time, new day, new thing, new approach to everything, and you guys show up and support, so much appreciated. If you guys aren't Gator fans, let us know down below. Love to get to know everybody that's involved. Squirrel was in a boot today in practice. Yeah, Squirrel White was also in a boot. Again, not being talked about as much as when a Florida player gets into a boot, just because the coverage I don't think is nearly as aggressive. But yeah, look, and I hate this. I hate seeing players be injured. I hate guys being dismissed. Like, we love to troll and have fun and pick at the opposing team, but we're still trying to obviously give you guys the best synopsis of what's happening as well. Let's talk about Hugh Freeze, man. He's a go ahead.
I don't take much into obviously there was some more stuff off the field because these guys have been beating on each other since spring. There's gonna be fights. I mean, it happens in the pros. 2 Minnesota Vikings were fighting 2 weeks ago, and McCarthy had to get in there and break it up. And wasn't happy because our star quarterback is breaking up a fight against the defense and offensive linemen.
The other thing I read too says from Tomahawk Nation says, as one source told me, it wasn't a good look for Conrad Husey, and it also wasn't a good look for the position coach. Said the Brandon Marcello said on the Insiders podcast. So again,
okay, fighting a coach is a little different.
That's what I said.
My statement.
What did you think he was doing?
It was another player. I thought
it was a coach, Cat.
Oh, yeah. As Coach JB says, don't be fighting coaches, okay?
Yeah, it was a coach. but then you hear this guy both were in the wrong, which is wild. Yeah. Again, there's just a lot of noise for a team that you don't want to see, because again, there seems to be a lack of identity, and